Hey everyone. So we recently celebrated the 1-year anniversary of the channel. I don't really celebrate. We said, oh, cool. That's fun. So I think it's kind of fitting that we just had an update in one of the first videos that I did. I guess we can celebrate today with a cool update. Speaking of celebrating, I was going to buy myself something really cool for my birthday, which is coming up. I was like brainstorming on all the cool things I could buy. I love toys. Then my chair broke. So guess who's getting a chair for their birthday? Fun, right? It's like buying a vacuum for your birthday. Just doesn't do it for you. So anyways, did you ever see the movie Groundhog Day?
Morning! See the groundhog?
Yeah?
Think it'll be in early spring.
Didn't we do this yesterday? Do you ever have deja vu, Mrs. Lancaster?
I don't think so, but I could check with the kitchen.
No, that's okay. Thank you.
It's kind of how this case feels. So we're going to go back to the very beginning, and we're going to watch the first hearing that I caught. Keep in mind there were 7 arrests and countless hearings before this, but they all pretty much were the same. So let's check this one out, and then I'll give you more information on the background.
So I've got a interesting little conundrum for you. What do you do when the only thing you can do is lock someone up longer, and that's what they want? Kind of like when you want to put the dogs down and they don't want to go. Like you want to release them from jail, but they don't want to go. Puts the judge in kind of an awkward position. Here's a quick short one for you. Well, not too short, but.
All right, what's next?
Looks like Miss Lou is ready.
Morning, Ms. Lou.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Can you make your appearance for the record, Ms. Allen?
Your Honor, Chloe Allen on behalf of Ms. Lou. I've been assigned by the court as standby counsel.
Is Ms. Lou, is it your intention today to represent yourself again?
Yes.
Okay. So the fact that US law says you don't have to have a lawyer is not really a basis for not wanting a lawyer. My concern, Ms. Lou, is you pled guilty and we're back in custody the next day. In other words, this doesn't seem to be working for you to represent yourself. Why do you want to represent yourself?
Hello.
Ms. Lou, why do you want to represent yourself?
It's free, right? In United States. By law, I can represent myself.
But that's not a reason to do it. It's also free, by law, I can cross the street, but I'm not crossing the street right now. Why do you want to represent yourself?
I just want
to. So you've gone from a woman with no criminal history to having your 5th charge. It just doesn't seem like a good idea to represent yourself. What is it you think a lawyer would do? Ms. Lou, what is it you think a lawyer would do to your case that you don't want to have a lawyer represent you?
I just don't.
Ms. Lou, do you understand that I can represent you for free?
I don't.
And that Ms. Allen has been a lawyer for, I think, well over a decade. When I looked at your bar number, or even 2 decades. So 20 years of experience with American law. How many cases have you tried, Ms. Allen?
I have no idea, Your Honor. I don't keep count. Too many.
So in the realm of between 50 and 100?
Yes. Ms. Lou, do you understand that there's something called standby counsel, that I can be available to you if you have questions along the way, and I could appear for you in that capacity?
You will stand by counsel now, right? Just fill the forms.
But Ms. Liu, in the past few months, you've spent an inordinate amount of time at Score Jail. You have a master's degree in psychology, is my recollection. Is that right? Ms. Liu?
Yeah, I have a master's degree. Yes.
Right. So it seems to me like you have many more options for things to do than spend your time at Score Jail.
Ah,
I think a lawyer would be beneficial to you in helping you sort through. You're digging quite a deep hole in legal
no,
trouble.
no, lawyer as standby counsel, enough.
My concern is that you don't know the rules of evidence. You don't know criminal procedure. I don't believe, based on what I've seen, that you've done anything to educate yourself on either of those topics. And you're coming up on a point where you're just going to spend a lot of time in jail. Is that what you want? Is that what you want to do?
Okay.
So I have to go through this form with you, Ms. Liu, so you have to answer the questions. Do you understand that you can have a lawyer appointed to your case at public expense? It will not cost you a penny. Do you understand that?
Free lawyer.
Right. Do you understand that that's available?
Yes, yes.
Do you understand that once you waive your right to counsel, I do not have to let you, and you then change your mind, I don't have to appoint counsel. Do you understand that?
Right.
Do you understand that you do not have an absolute right to have standby counsel?
Yes.
And the last grade that you of education you completed was the 18th grade?
Yes.
You've never studied law?
No.
That's actually, it says, have you ever represented yourself or any other defendant in a criminal action? That I believe the answer to that should be yes, not no. Because you've represented yourself now 4 other times. Is that right?
Oh, you mean for this, okay?
Do you understand that the charge of criminal trespass in the first degree is a gross misdemeanor punishable by up to 364 days in jail and a $5,000 fine?
I understand.
And that there's no mandatory minimum sentence? Is that your understanding?
Yes.
But it's possible that I could sentence you all the way up to 1 year in custody and impose a $5,000 fine.
No money.
I know you don't have any money, but I could do that. Do you understand that?
I understand.
Do you understand that if you're found guilty of more than one crime, the court could sentence you to serve all of the time consecutively?
I understand.
Do you understand that if you represent yourself, you're on your own? The court cannot help you decide how to try your case.
I understand.
Are you familiar with the rules of evidence?
Yes.
How are you familiar with the rules of evidence?
Yes.
How are you familiar with the rules of evidence?
The police already provided evidence.
That's not the rules of evidence are they're rules, they're not evidence. They're the how you get evidence admitted, how you keep evidence out. Are you familiar with the rules of evidence?
I'm not a legal person.
Ms. Liu, we can go through this form quickly or take a long time. You have to answer my question. Are you familiar with the rules of evidence?
No.
Thank you. Are you familiar with the rules of criminal procedure?
No.
Do you understand that if you decide to take the witness stand, you may have to represent yourself, you may have to ask your own self questions?
Okay.
Do you understand that a lawyer familiar with the rules of evidence and skilled in following the rules of criminal procedure could possibly advise you of defenses to the charge.
Oh, I understand. Skilled lawyer.
What?
I understand. Skilled lawyer.
Right.
I
You
understand.
understand that if you proceed pro se and you do not present a proper defense, subpoena witnesses, or otherwise represent yourself in a competent manner, you cannot appeal on the grounds of inadequate representation.
Okay.
Have any threats or promises been made to you to get you to waive your right to counsel?
No.
In light of all the penalties that you may suffer as a consequence of representing yourself, do you still wish to give up your right to a lawyer?
Yes.
And is this decision entirely voluntary on your part?
Yes.
Okay, I will accept the waiver. And then with that, it's my understanding you wish to plead guilty today.
Yes.
Has the city had a chance to review the plea?
Yes, I've signed it.
So Ms. Liu, Ms. Allen is right there if you want to ask her any questions, okay, or seek any assistance from her.
No question.
And Your Honor, we did review the rights at arraignment too, because I don't believe that that has occurred at all.
And it's a waivable offense, so I'm gonna just take that as a waiver, or I guess we could do the arraignment and she can just enter a plea of guilty at that time. Mr. Mercer, do you want to go forward with the arraignment?
I can, sure, hold on. Just need to find the complaint, hold on. So, Ms. Liu, my name is Jason Mercer. I work for the city of SeaTac. I'm one of the prosecutors. Can you state your name out loud for me, please?
First name, why you? Last name, how are you?
Okay, and what is your date of birth?
April 1672.
Thank you. You're charged by way of criminal complaint in this case number, which is 3A0124241, with one count of criminal trespass in the first degree. This pursuant to RCW 9A.52.070. It's alleged that in the city of SeaTac on or about February 10th of 2023, you knowingly entered or remain unlawfully at the SeaTac International Airport. That is a gross misdemeanor. If you were to be convicted, you could face penalties up until the maximum of 364 days in jail and up to a $5,000 fine, or both. So without talking about the facts of the case, do you understand, generally speaking, what you're charged with, which is one count of trespassing in the first degree inside a building?
Yes.
As to that charge, how do you plead?
Be guilty.
I have reviewed the police report authored by Officer Callie Matsuka and do find facts sufficient. Ms. Liu, as to the crime of criminal trespass in the first degree, how do you plead?
Be guilty.
I will accept the plea. I do believe it's knowingly, voluntarily, intelligently made, and there's a factual basis to support it. Mr. Mercer.
I have nothing to add to the sentencing.
What is the plan for the reviews?
I believe that the agreement was no action, just credit for time served. So finding the violation and giving her credit for what she's already served.
Ms. Liu, is there anything you'd like to say?
Oh,
Is there anything you'd like to say? You have an opportunity. This is called allocution.
I have nothing to say.
What is it going to take to get you to stop going back to the airport? And what is the credit for time served? Do we know? Ms. Liu, can you please answer my question? What assurances does the court have that you won't go back to the airport without a ticket in your hand?
Money.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Money, I said. And the lawyer said no.
So the fact that you don't have money is not a reason to go to the airport. There are many money alternatives. Do you prefer to be at Score Jail?
What?
Do you prefer to be at Score Jail rather than outside?
What is a school?
Do you prefer to be here rather than outside?
Okay,
She's asking if you want to stay in jail or if you want her to let you go. That's what she's asking you.
right now, stay here.
Now stay in jail.
Stay here.
But my point is, every time you go back to the airport, you are essentially making the decision to go to Score Jail.
Your Honor, I believe that she said there's a lot of noise back here, so I don't
I'm
think
sorry, I can't hear you.
there's a lot of noise here, but I can tell you from my end, she is telling you that she would prefer to stay in the Score Jail.
No, I'm going to follow the agreed recommendation. I'm just trying to, Ms. Liu, I don't understand why you want to keep building your criminal history. So the 10th was booking.
That's what's the roster showing.
So I have 22 days. Does that sound right?
Let me get a calculator.
Ms.
Sounds
Liu,
right.
do you have any source of income?
No.
And can you still receive mail at the address on Southwest 352nd Street and Federal Way? Do you have anywhere you can receive mail?
No.
Do you have an email?
No. Oh, thank you. As I was told.
All right, I'm going to follow the agreed recommendation for 364 days in jail with 304 suspended, 22 days credit for time served, $5,000 fine, all 5,000 suspended. Jail time will be concurrent with any other holds, and the court is taking 24 months of jurisdiction. Based on the fact you have no income, I'm making the finding that you're indigent, and I'm not going to impose any fines, fees, costs, or assessments. For the next 24 months, you need to attend any future court appearances, have no new criminal law violations, no contact with SeaTac International Airport or the rental car facility. You cannot go back there, Ms. Liu. You cannot. And update your address with the court and DOL immediately if there are any changes. Then with regard to the reviews, I'm finding a violation, specifically the new criminal law violation, revoking 22 days on each with 22 days credit for time served. Concurrent. Ms. Liu, at this point, you have nearly 5 years of jail hanging over your head. It would be possible for the court to impose all of this jail consecutive. Nearly 5 years. You cannot go back to the airport.
Okay.
The other alternative here is for her to start talking to people about accepting some of the resources that have been offered to her by the airport, by the Score Jail, by her attorneys that have been trying to help her. That's the other option as well.
Mr. Mercer, I could not agree with you more.
I think that's something that hasn't been said through all this, is that has been done. We're not sit here cold and callously imposing this time. Everything else has failed. And so this is just making good on a promise. That was another option to try and provide her with an incentive not to go back to the airport. So that's the other option, is to avoid this and have a place to go, is to start accepting, at least talking to someone about those things.
You have another 18 days in custody use that time to make a plan for what you will do afterward. Ms. Liu, I don't want to be, I know I sound angry with you, and I'm frustrated with you that you won't seek help, that you won't accept any offers. It's frustrating. And that you just keep putting yourself in this position. You have to make a change.
Can I have a moment with her before we end this hearing?
No, I understand. Okay, yes.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, Your Honor.
All right. All right, thank you, Ms. Liu. I really don't want to see you back here. Okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Allen. I appreciate your assistance.
Thank you.
Yes. The decision?
The decision, wait a minute. We're still on the record. The
Did
decision.
you have a question? I've already done the sentence. Did you have a question about something?
And listen, it's, oh, okay, no more questions.
She
Done the
says in
sentence.
18 days you should be released,
18 days.
unless you want to say anything else to her.
Oh, no.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So she can't really even use the threat of sending her back to jail because that's what she wants. There's not really much she can do in this one other than just let her stay.
When I first ran this case, there was a ton of outpouring of concern and care and love and people who couldn't believe that this was happening and having a hard time understanding what was going on. But I think the biggest thing is they were concerned about competency and things like that. And I wanted to let you know that I did do a FOIA request. I got all of the documents from SeaTac. By the way, did you know SeaTac is actually a city? It's the Seattle Tacoma International Airport, and all the land right around it, it's actually its own little municipality, which is pretty interesting. So I went back, and Miss Liu's troubles began right at the beginning of 2022. She got her first criminal trespass in SeaTac. Now, I believe that she had other trespasses in other counties, but I'm not sure. I'm not able to match that up, and I'm waiting on those records. But her very first trespass, she received the same thing that she receives almost all the time. She got credit for time served and then a 365-day sentence with the majority of it suspended, all but 5 days suspended. And it was a 12-month deferred sentence, which means if you do anything else in the next 12 months, we're going to impose this sentence. So there were 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't even know how many additional violations that happened after that. And every time she came back, she would get between 10 and 30 days that she was in jail as her sentence credit, with the rest of it deferred. And it just keeps happening over and over again. And she would stay in jail longer and longer each time because she would refuse to appear in court. Her attorneys would withdraw. They did do a competency evaluation and she was found to be competent. They request interpreters for her. She declines them. And each time it's piling on because not just is she getting the new charge, but she's also violating the previous charge and getting a sentence from that. So the case I just showed you happened in March of 2023. She served her 22 days. She was released March 21st of 2023. On March 26th, five days later, she committed another infraction and was taken back into custody. So following that, her counsel withdrew. She refused to appear. For a short period of time, she was segregated in the MH unit. And that was one thing I wanted to point out is competency, it doesn't necessarily mean that there aren't MH issues that need to be addressed. Competency just means you understand what you did. It doesn't mean you don't have a ton of stuff going on. And the problem is that she's been offered services multiple times and she continually refuses them. And you can't really force someone, unfortunately. That was 3:30. She refused to appear 4:04, 4:13, 3:28. They finally put in a motion to compel and order her to appear. So on 4:18, she finally appeared, and that's the next video we have where she was sentenced.
Okay, so Your Honor, I'm entering a plea of not guilty on behalf of Ms. Liu. I
did not say plead not guilty. I said plead guilty.
Well, I am representing you right now, and I'm not prepared to go forward. I'm not prepared to go forward.
She has a right by rule.
That's
to
true.
plead guilty today.
That's true. She does have a right to plead guilty if she wishes. I tried to go over the rights with her. She has not signed that, and I don't think that they got through to her, so she needs to be able to sign that document before we proceed.
I said I signed it in front of policeman. You didn't hear my English? There's a policeman here. Officer here. I said I signed it. I said in front of the officer, I signed it. Why do you tell the court the lie?
What lie is that, Ms. Liu?
I said I signed it in front of the officer.
Okay? I just said that, Ms. Liu, that you'll sign the rights form with the officer. She'll bring it back, right? I did say that. Okay, so I just am saying that I need you to sign that form of your rights so that by signing it, you'd be saying that you understand those rights. Okay, that's all. I'm having them bring that to you.
Oh, okay, I said I will sign it.
All right. So, Your Honor, I mean, if you wish to proceed, I am not prepared to plead her out today. I haven't gotten any offer from the prosecutor, or I probably have the discovery here. But
I did email over the complaint and report.
Okay, all right, thank you.
The arraignment case.
Yeah.
May I suggest then, Mr. Stave, because she, as I understand Ms. Liu to be saying she does not wish to plead not guilty, that we continue arraignment until your next available date, and you can arraign and enter a plea of guilty at that time.
So, Ms. Liu, if you wish, if I can meet with you and go over things with you, then, and that would be outside of the courtroom at first. If we can do that, then we can just set over this arraignment. And if you still would like to plead guilty, we can do that. Okay?
Yes, plead guilty.
I'll email you the recommendation.
Okay.
What day are you next available, Mr. Stave?
Okay, today is Tuesday. Ms. Liu, do you want to do this quickly, or are you concerned about the time frame?
No time frame.
Okay, all righty. Okay, just a second here. I'm just looking really quick, Your Honor. Give me a sec here. It looks to me like if we do this on if we do this on Thursday, that would work, Your Honor. If we do it on Thursday or Friday, either one will work for me.
Whichever you like.
Okay, so why don't we do this Friday morning? Let me just check one other thing really quick.
He is still thinking about something.
No, I'm sorry, Ms. Lou. I'm just looking at my calendar, okay? I'm sorry, Ms. Lou. I'm just looking at my calendar, so give me just a second here, okay? So,
I'm sorry, so do you want Friday or do you want Thursday?
yeah, I want Friday. I was just looking at my calendar, Your Honor, really quick here. Yeah, that'll work. Friday morning,
Okay,
11 o'clock.
yep. Okay. I'm setting conditions of release, however, I did find probable cause to detain on the new case on,
Did you request $250
the 27th.
bail remain- Case, sorry.
And bill remain $500 each case.
It was 250.
I was 250. Okay, thank you.
Ms. Lou,
Yes.
would you prefer
Friday?
Friday? Yes. Okay, Friday. I will come before court and meet with you before court. Okay.
You want to come into the jail?
Yeah, I'll come to the jail.
For
All right.
what?
To go over the plea offer for a change of plea. Okay.
No change. Same as before, just plead guilty.
Right. That's what we're
Same
talking
as
about.
before.
Yeah. Same as before. I'm gonna come and
Nothing private, everything in from the court, in from the police.
Nope, that's not, Ms. Lou, that's not appropriate. That's not appropriate. I can't do that. You have to talk to Mr. Stave privately.
I don't talk to him privately, nothing private.
Your
I'll-
Honor,
I don't have nothing private.
Ms. Lou, it takes time to fill out the paperwork. The court is not going to let
Just
you
fill
do
the
that on the record.
paperwork. Yes.
Ms. Lou, before we did this on previous cases when I was standby, before court, we had to fill out paperwork, right?
Just fill the form, yes.
Okay,
Now, we
so
don't
that
have
was
nothing to
private.
talk about the private.
Okay,
Nothing,
previously,
nothing at all. Nothing.
why?
Okay, you guys can work that out
All
on
right.
Friday. I'm setting
I'm gonna
conditions of
try,
release.
Your Honor, but it doesn't seem like she'll meet with me.
Well, you'll find out on Friday.
Okay, we
I'm setting
can't do a
conditions-
change of plea of guilty without me meeting with her, you know?
Well, it's not a change of plea, it's an entry of.
Well, right, an
Um,
entry of a plea. Mhm.
I think that language is throwing Ms. Lou, so that's part of.
I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. So, Ms. Lou, just to be clear, you're pleading guilty on Friday, if that's what you like to do, but I have to meet with you. I am your attorney. I'm appointed on your case, so I have to meet with you in order to do that. Okay? Otherwise, I'm not prepared on the case.
You can go online to fill the form, plead guilty, that's it. Just plead guilty, no.
Okay, I won't come to the score. We'll meet ahead of time. All right, on Friday. Unless you want to talk right now.
You fill the form, plead guilty, that's it.
No, okay,
We don't have
so
nothing
it'll be
private to
next
talk
Friday,
about.
Your Honor.
We'll
It'll be
talk on
next Friday.
Friday.
Nothing private to
Yeah.
talk about.
Okay.
No,
Additional conditions of release, in addition to $250 each case, are that you attend all future court appearances, have no new criminal law violations, no contact with SeaTac International Airport or the rental car facility, and keep your address updated with the court. All right, thank you. We'll see you on Friday.
Done?
Thank you, Mr. Stave.
Thank you, Your Honor. Before SCORE leaves, can I go into a breakout room with you? Hello?
With who? Ms. Lou?
With the guard here. Hi.
And Ms. Chen.
I guess I'm just wondering if I can go into breakout room with you for a second here.
Only if Ms. Chenweller's there as well.
What? Oh.
Only if
with
Ms. Chenweller is there as well. I can't have ex parte communication about a case.
Oh, not with you, Your Honor, with the guard.
Oh.
I need to talk
Sorry, that's what I
with
was
SCORE
asking.
iPad 11. I'm sorry.
Officer, would you mind taking the iPad back to Ms. Lou?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
And Your Honor, did you get my message about Giannis?
I
That he
was trying to-
staves?
Oh, got it.
I don't know if he remembers.
Where did he go?
He went to the breakout room.
Mr. Stave? Mr. Stave, you also have another case, Mr. Legacy.
Other case, not mine.
All right, so we'll just wait till Friday. And so I'll go to the other case here.
Friday.
Mhm.
And Mr. Legacy had a 1077 evaluation, which found him able to proceed. He rejects that finding.
A few days later, she's back, and one of the primary reasons is she has to be sentenced on all the cases. The new charges, which is a new criminal trespass first degree, and the violation of her previous deferred sentences on all the previous cases that she has. So this is in May, and she ends up getting this sentence.
So we're now turning to Ms. Lou's matters. 2A03612229, 3A0124238, 3A0239618, 2A0719008, 3A0124241, and 2A0280165.
That's correct, Your Honor. Ms. Chenweller, the prosecutor, and we talked about the case and about the charge, and as you know, Ms. Liu wanted to enter a plea of guilty at arraignment. We set this over for today, and I have
I think
talked with
we're
Ms.
still at arraignment. We continued arraignment to today.
Right,
My
that's
recollection.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we set over arraignment and she wishes to plead guilty. I prepared a plea of guilty form for Ms. Liu. I believe that she understands that and that she has been pretty clear that she just wishes to plead guilty. I did tell her everything from the Ms. Liu. I read that whole form to you, right?
Yes.
And did you understand your rights that you give up by pleading guilty?
Yes.
And that I wasn't twisting your arm or making you plead guilty. And we went over the entire form, all the paragraphs, right?
Yes.
Including your statement on plea of guilty, your statement that you adopt as your own words.
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay. So, Your Honor, I believe that she's doing this knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily, and that I'm following her instructions on this. Even if I tell her that, well, we could go forward and we could fight this and maybe try to get a better deal or whatever, and I say those things to clients, including to some extent Ms. Liu here, but she has been very firm about wanting to plead guilty today for the arraignment. And so I got an offer. I asked her if she accepts that offer. I told her some of the risks involved. She agrees that's what she wants to do.
Thank you, Mr. Stave. Before I go into the document, can you please remove the S/ in the signature line?
Oh, sure, yes. 1 second here, Your Honor. And I'm going to just put it up here for a sec. The screen.
So what I hear you essentially saying is that you're waiving arraignment and going forward to a plea of guilty.
Basically, yes, Your Honor, yes.
Okay. Ms. Liu, I have a document here entitled Statement of Defendant on Plea of Guilty. Towards the bottom of it, on the line that says defendant's signature, it's about to be blank.
I'm doing that right now.
Okay. Have you not signed this yet because you had no way to sign it?
Yeah, I'm in the cell.
Right. So you have no way to sign it. Is that correct?
Right.
If you had had a way to sign this document, would you have signed it?
Yes.
SCORE will give you a chance to sign it after this hearing. Do you promise to sign it at that time?
Okay.
When you reviewed this form with your attorney, did he read it to you? Did you read it by yourself or did you read it together?
He read it to me.
And was he able to answer any questions that you had?
Yes.
As I review this form with you, please stop me at any time if you'd like to ask him a question, okay?
Okay.
And Your Honor, sorry.
Go ahead.
I can't seem to get it. Okay, here we go. Save signature. Okay, I'm just they want you to put something in and I can't seem to do that. So I'm going to just reset and get out of there. Well, it won't do it. If you keep talking, Your Honor, I'll keep working on it here.
Okay. Is your true and correct name Yu Liu?
Yes.
And you're 51 years old and have a master's?
Yes.
You're pleading guilty to the crime of criminal trespass in the first degree.
Yes.
You understand the elements of that crime? In other words, what the city would have to prove if you were to take this to trial?
Yes.
By entering into this plea, you're giving up a number of very important constitutional rights. Among these are the right to a speedy and public trial, to remain silent during that trial, or to choose to testify, to see, hear, and question witnesses who would testify against you, to have witnesses testify on your behalf at no expense to you, to the presumption of innocence unless and until a jury were to find you guilty, and to appeal a finding of guilt. Do you understand you're giving up all those rights?
Yes.
The crime of criminal trespass in the first degree is a gross misdemeanor punishable by up to 364 days in jail and a $5,000 fine. Is that your understanding?
I understand.
I know your attorney and the city attorney have an agreed recommendation, but the court does not have to follow that and can sentence you anywhere up to the maximum. Is that your understanding?
I understand.
Do you understand in the event you're not a citizen, a guilty finding on this charge may be grounds for deportation, denial of naturalization, or exclusion from the United States?
I understand.
Did anyone make any promises to you to get you to enter into this plea?
No.
Did anyone make any threats to get you to enter into this plea?
No.
Are you doing this of your own free will?
Yes.
In paragraph 11, there's a statement that reads, on 26/2023, there's a month missing.
Oh, what did I do wrong?
There's no month. It just says on 26/2023.
Oh, okay, 3/26/2023, Your Honor. I thought I had typed that in. That's what it's supposed to say.
Is it acceptable to the parties if I add March?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. On March 26, 2023, in the city of SeaTac, King County, I entered the SeaTac International Airport building without a ticket. Okay, so that's not a crime, just to be clear. I mean, you could be, that would, otherwise every employee would be committing a crime.
Yes, and Your Honor, I went over that with her. That's what was the statement that she wanted to provide. The only other thing that I thought that we could add that might be okay, Ms. Liu, is if you say that without a ticket, as I don't know, I think what you would have to do, Ms. Lou, is just say that you were that you were not allowed to go onto the premises, that you illegally entered the premises
Or after being trespassed.
after being trespassed, right? Could you say something like that, Ms. Lou?
Yes, without a ticket.
Okay, well, that's not just without a ticket.
Do you
What
want
they're
to
saying-
go in a breakout room for a minute and talk to Ms. Lou about this?
Sure.
I'm out of the order,
All
so
right.
you can amend it as you wish.
Okay, thank you. As soon as we get invited in, Ms. Lou, I will talk with you briefly, okay?
Madam Clerk, are you inviting them to a breakout room?
Yes, please accept.
Ms. Lou, you have to accept the invitation to join the breakout room.
We don't see anything on there. That's maybe why she's not.
It would be room 2, but I can move you guys into room 3 again.
Okay, great.
Do you see that?
I do, thanks.
Ms. Lou,
Ms.
please
Lou?
join the breakout room.
It's now room 3.
Ms. You have to join.
Joy?
Yes.
Where is it?
In the top, can you send the invitation again? You're muted, Mr. Stave.
All right, Ms. Lou, down below there, you should have a place where you can click to get into room 2.
I think in the iPad, it's in the upper corner.
I'm going to do a new.
Okay, maybe upper right.
And
If
it'll
you
be
could
room 4
re-invite
now.
us. Okay. Do you see that, Ms. Lou?
Oh, yes, it becomes.
Okay, yeah,
Right.
just click that.
She's gone. So trial on Monday.
Yeah, I spoke with Mr. Singh and it sounds like we have a resolution. But I realized that.
So I made you a spreadsheet because I'm me. As you can see, after this hearing that we watched, Miss Lou remained in custody until early September of 2023. She did pretty good for a couple months, but then right around Thanksgiving, she found herself back in SCORE because she trespassed on SeaTac again. She has been in custody at SCORE since right around Thanksgiving time, and she is scheduled to be released in February. So if you add up that time plus all the time that she's spent for the past 2 years, she spent almost half of her time in the past 2 years in the SeaTac jail. And again, that doesn't include the time she may have spent in some of the neighboring municipal jails or county jails, which I haven't got the information for yet. It's pretty concerning considering that she's being offered all these services and she's declining them. It's really unfortunate. So here is the hearing, the updated hearing that we haven't aired yet from December of 2023. And this is related to the 11/26/23 trespass event.
All right, here we go. We got Miss Lou.
Good morning, Miss Lou. Yes, good morning.
And Your Honor, this is 3A0343503.
Sit down.
Sit down? Okay. So this one?
Ms. Liu, if you sit down on the bench, we probably can see you better.
See me?
If you sit down, we can see you. On that bench right there? Okay. This is U 3A0343503. We are asking this court to accept a plea of guilty to one count of criminal trespass in the first degree. I did read through the plea paperwork with Ms. Liu and gave her a copy of it to read through as well. I went over any questions. I believe I've answered all her questions, went over the rights she is giving up, went over any immigration consequences. I believe I've satisfied my obligations under Sandoval Padilla. We are asking the court to accept the plea at this time.
Ms. Liu, what you have in your hand, it looks like something you want. Is
For lawyer or officer?
Is that a statement from you?
No, it's a help ask for.
Did you want the court to read that?
Oh, no. I want a lawyer or officer help me to contact the SeaTac airport PD to hold my luggage if I'm in jail more than 1 month.
Okay, I can come down and get that paperwork from you to talk to whoever I need to talk to about your property.
Yeah, that's required by SeaTac airport PD.
Okay. So go ahead with your what you were saying, Mr. Ainati.
And Your Honor, I believe she's making no involuntary intelligent decision to plead guilty. She's indicated a couple times that that's what she wanted to do. And so we are asking the court to accept this plea at this time.
Ms. Liu, I have a document here entitled Statement of Defendant on Plea of Guilty. Towards the bottom of it, on the line that says defendant's signature, it's blank. Have you not signed it yet just because you had no way to sign it?
Yes.
If you had had a way to sign it, would you have signed it?
Yes.
SCORE will give you a chance to sign it after this hearing. Do you promise to sign it at that time?
Yes.
When you reviewed this form with Mr. Ainati, did he read it to you? Did you read it by yourself or did you read it together?
I read it by myself.
And was he able to answer any questions that you had?
I didn't ask a question.
Okay.
It's the same as before, right?
What?
Same as before.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Yeah. No question.
Okay. If you would like to ask him a question while I'm reviewing it with you, please stop me at any time. Is your true and correct name Yu Liu?
Correct.
And you're 51 years old and have completed more than the 12th grade?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
You're pleading guilty to the crime of criminal trespass in the first degree. Do you understand the elements of that crime? In other words, what the city would have to prove if you were to take this to trial?
Yes.
By entering into this plea, you're giving up a number of very important constitutional rights. Among these are the right to a speedy and public trial, to remain silent during that trial, or to choose to testify, to see, hear, and question witnesses who would testify against you, to have witnesses testify on your behalf at no expense to you, to the presumption of innocence unless and until a jury were to find you guilty, and to appeal a finding of guilt. Do you understand you're giving up all those rights?
Yes.
The crime of criminal trespass in the first degree is a gross misdemeanor punishable by up to 364 days in jail and a $5,000 fine. Is that your understanding?
Yeah, no money, police.
I know your attorney and the city attorney have an agreed recommendation, but the court does not have to follow that and can sentence you anywhere up to the maximum. Is that your understanding?
Yes.
You understand in the event you're not a citizen, a guilty finding on this charge may be grounds for deportation, denial of naturalization, or exclusion from the United States.
Yes.
Did anyone make any promises to get you to enter into this plea?
No.
Did anyone make any threats to get you to enter into this plea? I'm sorry, can you answer out loud, please?
No.
Are you doing this of your own free will?
Yes.
In paragraph 11, there's a statement that reads, on November 26, 2023, in SeaTac, Washington, at the SeaTac Airport, Port of Seattle, I knowingly entered and remained in the airport without lawful authority to be there. I know your attorney wrote that statement, but do you adopt that as your own statement?
No, I still say I go there without ticket.
You go there without what?
Without ticket.
Right. So you went there without lawful authority, is that right?
In my words, that's in my words. Go there without.
We've been over this before. There are other reasons that you can lawfully be at the airport. For example, picking someone up at the airport or doing business with one of the businesses at the airport.
Right.
If you're not doing any of those things, then you do not have lawful authority to be there.
Right, so I was in the airport without a ticket and not airport related business. That's in my words.
If I rewrite the statement to say that you were at the airport without lawful business at the airport and after previously being trespassed, would you accept that statement?
In my words, I would say again, without ticket and no airport related business. I'm not a lawful, I'm not a legal professional, so my words and your words is different.
So
yeah.
I think that probably without.
Yeah, so that's my words. I'm not going to argue with you, that's my words.
I'm out of it.
Okay. It's just not letting me open it now. Without a ticket to travel and without. If I say lawful airport business, is that okay?
Ms. Liu, I think he's asking you.
Is it okay if I write without a ticket to travel and
without a ticket, without airport related business?
And
that's what I say.
Airport related business?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so the statement now reads, on November 26, 2023 in SeaTac, Washington at the SeaTac Airport, Port of Seattle, I knowingly entered and remained in the airport without a ticket to travel and without airport related business. So I know your attorney's written that statement out, but do you take that to be your statement?
Okay.
Is it a true statement?
True statement.
As to the crime of criminal trespass in the first degree, how do you plead?
Guilty.
I will accept the plea. I do believe it's knowingly, voluntarily, intelligently made, and there's a factual basis to support it. Ms. Tenweller?
The defendant has 17 days credit for time served, and I will put her request regarding her property in the update email to Michelle Bregel, the crisis coordinator for Port of Seattle. I don't know what property, if any, they may be holding of Miss Liu's or what, if anything, can be done about that. So if Mr. Ionati wants to also look into it, that'd be great too. Thank you.
Mr. Ionati?
This is an agreed recommendation, Your Honor. Ms. Lewis indicated she did not have the ability to pay any amount of the fine. She's not currently working. She is hoping the court follows it, and she's indicated she will abide with the conditions to the best of her ability.
Ms. Liu, is there anything you'd like to say?
No, I just asked her for help to hold my luggage. Nothing else.
And it sounds like both attorneys are going to work on that. The city's going to email them as well.
Oh, okay. So I don't need to ask the office again, right? Jail office.
Well, I think Mr. Ionati may come down to talk to you. Is that right?
Yeah, so I'll get that information. I'll get your information, but then also I'll give you contact information for once we confirm.
I don't have no money to call. That's why.
Yeah, I'll come get that. Okay.
Is there anything that you'd like to say, Ms. Liu?
No, just plead guilty.
So this is your 9th time being arrested and taken to the we have since the last time you were in custody, we've opened a community court with a resource center. We have resources for housing, jobs, public assistance, food, state health insurance, all of it. I know you've been offered these services before, you turned them down. So the only conclusion I can draw is that you'd prefer to be at SCORE. Because you do not have to go to SCORE. You have options, but you must accept assistance. Because whatever you're doing right now doesn't seem to be working. I take no joy in seeing you at SCORE. I know that you have more to offer than just spending time there. And I really wish that you would accept assistance. And if you're interested, Ms. Kawasaki can come talk to you while you're at the jail to help you formulate a plan for when you get out. Would you accept that?
I got food already.
So what are you going to do when you get out of jail?
How is it?
Ms. Lee, what are you going to do when you get out of jail?
I'll see.
You'll see. So you don't have a plan.
Yeah.
Would you like to talk to Ms. Kawasaki and see what assistance she can give you?
I already got through the scam.
I don't think you've talked to her yet.
I talked to her before. Yeah.
She sets up a meeting with you. Will you talk to her again to try and figure out what to do after you get out of custody this time?
No.
It is your choice. If you're arrested again for doing this, all I can assume it is your choice that that's what you would prefer to accepting any assistance. I'm going to follow the agreed recommendation, impose a sentence of 120 days with 17 days credit for time served. I'm not imposing any fines, fees, or assessments as I'm making the finding that you're indigent, and I'm not imposing any legal financial obligations. You'll be released at the end of the jail time and the case will close. Ms. Tainati, if she does change her mind, I'm sure Ms. Kawasaki would be happy to meet with her.
Yes, Senator.
All right.
I swear if I had a bigger house, I'd probably fly to Seattle, break Miss Lou out of jail, bring her home. Actually, I'd wait 2 weeks till she was released and bring her home with me. It frustrates me because there's so many reasons why this could be an issue and I don't know exactly what it is, but it doesn't matter. It's hard to see her go through this cycle over and over and over again. But everybody makes their own decisions. We are all adults, most of us. And we are responsible for what we do and we can't fix others, even though we want to. So that is the update on Miss Lou. Wish her well, and I hope that she accepts the help that is being offered to her this time around. Until next time, take care, guys.